I'm Sarah Gore, and this is Open House NYC. Today, we're bringing you family-friendly home designs with a wow factor. Vanessa Antonelli shows us how she designed the playroom for a pop superstar's daughter. Designer Courtney Cachet creates a mom sanctuary in just one day. But first, we're featuring kid-friendly designs that prove you don't have to sacrifice style when you expand your family.
My clients had a childlike enthusiasm in approaching the master bedroom, and I fed off of that completely.
Welcome to Open House NYC. Right now I'm coming to you from an exquisite home on Fifth Avenue. This impressive and totally renovated home is beautifully finished in high European style. The apartment is flooded with light thanks to these oversized windows. But my favorite part? Behind practically every wall is a closet, a mind-blowing 67 in total. Not only is that a rarity in New York, but it's every woman's dream. I mean, it also features 5 bedrooms, 8 baths, and more than 5,000 square feet of living space. Let's begin our exploration of family-friendly designs with Keith Baltimore. Keith is known for his sophisticated and energetic use of color, which was just what his clients wanted in their family home. He took what was a typical colonial on a quiet suburban street and turned it into an inspiring feast for the eyes that begins the very second you enter, which is just what a family abode should be.
Hi, I'm interior designer Keith Baltimore, and welcome to this colorful, family-friendly home that I designed in Port Washington. Today I'm going to show you how family-friendly design does not have to be juvenile.
As in every family home, there's the practical part of living here. The book bags, the coats, the boots, but who are we kidding? No one's entering through the foyer, they're all entering through the mudroom. So this is a perfect spot for everything to get dropped, and it's not always neat, but it's certainly better if it's organized. I chose a bright chartreuse green. Nobody wants to go to school at 7 o'clock in the morning, and this is a good way to start your morning as well. It's also a welcoming color to come home to. The dining room is right off the foyer. How I designed this was by adding banquettes around the perimeter of the room, which is basically a square room, and I used cabinetry on the other portion of the squares, where I put a television set in and 4 tables that could be broken apart for a multitude of different tasks. Dining rooms are the most unused rooms in homes. Why not put a television set in there where the kids could do homework or they could watch TV, and the space becomes used in a way it's never been used before. Where I'm sitting now is the family room, and this room is fairly bright. We have a brightly colored sofa with horizontal stripes on the window treatments and a turquoise wallpaper, but yet it doesn't feel too bright. It's really cozy in here. It's using color in a comfy kind of way. The wall color is a deep turquoise with a striae of a horizontal line, almost water-like. And it gives you a sense that it's calm and it's chill. The groovy fish tank behind me has bubbled like almost a 1960s Playboy mansion. And we have the family pets floating around in there having a good time. There are 4 bedrooms upstairs, and each bedroom has a different vibe. There is the guest bedroom that has a more Moroccan purpley vibe. There's a red child's bedroom that's kind of zen and groovy. There's an emerald green and black bedroom that's kind of hip and happening. And there's the master bedroom that's red and dill pickle in a fabulous explosion of color. My clients had a childlike enthusiasm in approaching the master bedroom, and I fed off of that completely. There's an antique vanity in there with 3 interesting hats hanging over them that I electrified. There's a fireplace. There's also a large wedding cake chandelier that hangs in the center. Despite all the color, it is a very serene and chill environment. You can't have a child-friendly house without a place for the kids to run away from the parents. So we created this incredible space in the lower level. It's my own colorful twist on the family rec room that also takes you back to 1950s, 1960s when those rooms were used. We've created a space where the kids want to go. They want to hang out there. There's a big screen TV, there's groovy seating. It's a place you want to play in. I use tangerine orange and aquary blue. In my mind, it conjures up a 1965 mid-century World's Fair theme. I wanted this home not just to be comfortable, I wanted it to be inspiring and a happy place to be. Like every family home, it should be inspiring and a great place for the children to thrive.
I wish I had that rec room when I was a kid. Actually, I would take one now if I could. Up next, more kid-friendly design ideas. Vanessa Antonelli shows us how she designed a playroom for Kevin Jonas's daughter. Have the best of all worlds with KF Nanny and Homes. Visit kf.com today. Welcome back to Open House NYC. Kevin Jonas of the Jonas Brothers and his wife Danielle needed a well-designed playroom for their daughter, so they called designer Vanessa Antonelli. Vanessa specializes in designing unique spaces for the littlest ones in our lives. Let's take a look at how she brought both style and substance to a playroom.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Antonelli, owner of Nestle Baby, and a nursery designer, playroom designer, and just all-around kid space designer. Today, I'm at my clients, Kevin and Danielle Jonas's home, and I'm gonna share with you their amazing playroom that I designed for their baby girl. Come with me and check it out. One of the first decisions you make when designing a children's room is the color palette. And if it's a playroom, my advice is to choose something very gender neutral, because you never know when you may add more children to your family. When I chose blue for this room, I got the side eye from a lot of people. Everyone kind of had an opinion that a girl's room should be pink. And maybe that's the case for a nursery, but a playroom can go any which way. Navy is so in right now. It's chic, it's modern, and it's a fearless color. This entire wall is actually a chalkboard. Now, I don't recommend telling a child too early if you don't want them to draw on every wall. But the great thing is that nobody outgrows a chalkboard. You start early, and even adults like to draw on it. Check out this couch. It is low to the ground because it's gonna be used at first by a very little baby that's gonna grow to a toddler and then a child. Easy for her to climb up and down and much safer than a high couch. Behind the couch, I placed wallpaper, but instead of doing it the traditional way and wallpapering the entire wall, you see 5 panels, and each of them is covered with beautiful kind of whimsical bird wallpaper that's great for a kid's room. It gives it extra dimension, and on those panels are distressed wooden letters that spell play, which makes it very clear that a lot of fun is gonna happen in this room. This storage unit is gonna house all of baby Alina's toys as she gets bigger, and that is hugely important. However, you still want that storage to look great. Here we put navy panels on to mimic those that were on the dresser. 2 totally separate companies, but a way to jazz up an otherwise plain unit and make it more fun and match the space better. I hope you enjoyed checking out this playroom that I designed and that you're feeling inspired to decorate your own space. And have fun with the space. This is a kid's room. Add in a little bit of whimsy and let loose.
That is a really beautiful room, and how easy it's going to be to transition it as the baby gets older. Coming up a little later, it's a race against the clock for designer Courtney Cachet. But next, we are continuing the family-friendly design vibe with a fun project from designer Bunn. Welcome back to Open House NYC. A house with kids often means lots of spills and lots of stains, but that doesn't mean you have to wait until the kids head off to college to renovate. Interior designer Bunn has designed solutions that are high on style, yet practical.
Hi, I'm Bunn. Welcome to this Classic 6 apartment on Manhattan's Upper East Side. This apartment belongs to a young family, and I designed it to be high in style, but not in pretense. Another thing that was really important to me was to make it really fun and colorful and stylish, but also super practical. We've used things with big patterns, dark colors, pillows that you can flip over, just so you wouldn't see stains. All the things you'd want to think about if you were going to have young kids running around with their hands on the walls. Beginning right here in the entryway, we decided to use a grass cloth on the walls. It's great for tiny fingerprints. And I also love the purple color. I mean, it looks good, but you can also use it. It's indestructible. I chose this rug on the entryway because it's wool, so it's easy to clean. And it's difficult to see stains in a pattern like this, so it's great for a front hall in New York City with all the things that people are trekking in and out. One thing I find in a lot of entryways are boring closet doors, so I think painting them a fun color really adds a nice pop. So here I chose this heritage red. It's a really cheerful accent. Here we are in the living room, and the first thing I do when I'm designing a living room is pick the rug. And the living room rug is the most important rug in the entire apartment, so we looked at 100 options here. We chose this one because we think it's a really interesting take on a Moroccan rug, and it has a touch of purple, which the client loves. Next, we chose this tight back sofa because it's a little bit more formal, but we did, of course, use loose seat cushions because you can always flip them if anybody should spill something. In New York City apartments, space is limited, so I love to use a Lucite coffee table because it's light and airy, and visually it just doesn't seem to take up as much space. I think anyone with children knows that you don't want sharp corners on your coffee table, so I chose this style because it's a waterfall shape and it has nice round edges. The real star of this room, I think, is this built-in because we painted it in a really pretty high gloss, which I think is really glamorous, and it's formal enough for a room like this, and it's an elegant way to display books and family photos. And finally, one thing I really love about this bookcase is that the black paint really hides the television. You don't often hear of people combining a formal dining room with a playroom, but that's exactly what we've done here. The design challenge in this room was what to do about the table. We needed something for arts and crafts and also for formal dining, so we decided to find something indestructible. I love this chandelier because it's just so whimsical. There's something about this that everyone can appreciate. It's elegant enough for a formal dinner, but it also really has a place in a playroom. And we positioned it so it looks like it's sailing right out the window. One of my favorite rooms to decorate in any apartment or house is a child's bedroom. It's fun, it's lighthearted, and it's really for one person, and that's the child who's going to sleep and play here. My favorite part about this room is the rug. It was such a fun process to take colors out of the rug and bring them up into other areas of the room, such as this hot pink velvet headboard and bed skirt, these Deporto linens with the hearts, which I love, and this green sculpture that the kids love to climb on. One thing I really like to do is a picture wall, and you can see here we've put some posters and photographs up, and then the child's own artwork, which is framed here, which adds a really nice personal touch. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you picked up a few tips on how to make an apartment both playful and glamorous.
That chip chandelier is the perfect way to add a touch of nautical glamour to a room. Up next, designer Antonino Bazzetta is showing off his latest project. Open House is brought to you in part by Coldwell Banker, where home begins. Welcome back. Now we are checking out a project by interior designer Antonino Bazzetta. This Fifth Avenue apartment is glamorous and edgy, but it's also kid-friendly, proving you don't have to give up luxury living when you expand your family.
Hello everyone, I'm designer Antonino Bazzetta and welcome to the Upper East Side. Today I'm going to walk you through a post-war apartment overlooking Central Park. My goal was to create a home suitable for a young family. I wanted to create a space that was elegant yet comfortable. And I started right here in the entry foyer. I placed this painting front and center to create that wow factor. I was inspired by the bold colors of this painting, so I pulled out the orange and used them on these contemporary pedestals that support these large Grecian urns. I wanted to create an aura of understated glam. I did so by adding this metallic wall covering alongside these high-gloss black lacquered doors. Just off the foyer is the living room. I wanted to create a sexy, glamorous refuge that would work for both the man and woman of the house. In this room, I chose to create a color palette with a sea of grays and silvers with a touch of soft lavenders. This neutral palette appeals to both a masculine and feminine sensibility. Next, I wanted to create a floor plan with several seating areas. On this end of the room, I have this sectional sofa that's nestled into the corner. The perfect spot for those rainy days to curl up and read a book. At the foot of the sofa sits this unique coffee table, commissioned by the homeowners. We worked together to create a piece that married the masculine and feminine. The black lacquered base offsets the lavender shagreen top with agate inlay. To bridge the two seating areas together, I placed these vintage 1950s Italian armchairs. Finally, the room is anchored with this floor-to-ceiling marble fireplace. You may not notice, but the facade of the fireplace is faux finished. This is a great way to have an elegant design without breaking the bank. In the kitchen, I wanted to create a clean, simple look, so I anchored the room with this concrete table, perfect for a young family with 2 children. I purposely left the windows undressed to mimic the open, airy kitchen. And finally, to contrast the bright white cabinetry, I chose a dark ebonized wood floor. One room that often gets overlooked is the powder room, but this one is way too sexy not to mention. The use of black on black really sets a powerful tone. The vertical lines from the paper draw your eye upwards to the silver leaf ceiling, which adds a warm, romantic glow. Your guest will definitely be impressed. And finally, in the master bedroom, I wanted to create a calming and tranquil retreat, which emphasizes the most important feature of the apartment, the view of Central Park. First, I created a tilted mirror behind the bed, so the view could be enjoyed from any part of the room. And next, I created this little vignette that frames the view perfectly. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you learned a few tips on how to create an elegant but comfortable home.
I absolutely love the monochromatic color scheme in the bathroom. Need more inspiration? Our tour of kid-friendly design spaces isn't over yet. Coming up after the break, designer Courtney Cachet's mission: create a mom sanctuary in just one day. Welcome back. Designer Courtney Cachet is on a mission to give a busy mom of 4 her own peaceful space. But can she create a mom sanctuary in just one day? Take a look.
Hi, I'm Courtney Cachet, and today we're here in Watchung, New Jersey at my client's home. This in particular is her Florida room that I am going to make into a mom sanctuary. She's got a busy husband and 4 children. I think she needs a space all her own.
My name is Sonia. My husband and I are the parents of 4 children. When we moved into this house, my husband got his office and the children kind of took over every room with their games, their toys. I'm just looking for somewhere of my own where I can read a book or just relax and have some quiet time to myself.
Bye-bye. Is that a Lego? There is pain, and then there's stepping on a Lego pane. This is amazing. I'm gonna take some pictures down. I'm gonna put them in different frames that are kind of gonna go a little bit better. I love this because it's all 4 of her children together. So Sonia had this amazing patio, and it would be crazy not to utilize it in some way. So I got her a really cute bistro set, and it's gonna be like an extension of the room. My favorite feature about this room is that it has tons of light. You'd be crazy to put window treatments on these. So if you are lucky enough to have floor-to-ceiling windows. Read my lips, no window treatments. All right, well, we are done. I think it looks amazing. I love it. I hope Sonia does too. Let me break it down and show you how I did it. I started with one really good piece, which is what I recommend in any room. In this case, it was the couch. Next, I added a bold graphic rug, which gave the room a big pop of color and a little touch of modernness that I think it needed. I wanted to add a little bit of light and a lot of drama, so I went for these big, bold, hanging mirrors. And they reflect all the beautiful trees that are outside each window. Something really easy and affordable are overlays. I love them. They come in a slew of different shapes and sizes. They cost a few dollars and they look really, really cute. And last, but certainly not least, we have the outdoor area. Not only does she have a really cute seating area, but we added a fire element and I think it looks amazing. And having said that, I think I better go get her now and show her what I did. Wait for it and open your eyes!
Oh my goodness! I can't believe it's the same room.
You think? Oh my God!
It looks completely different. It looks like a grown-up room.
Oh, look outside! The fun continues, so you can enjoy your backyard and spend time with your family.
Still be able to see the kids.
Absolutely. Well, we all actually fit on your new couch, which is very exciting in itself. And so, do you guys love it?
Yes. This is me, and the colors are perfect.
The only thing that's left is my invitation to come over.
Anytime. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. That's a wrap.
I hope you enjoyed our tour of homes featuring high design with kids in mind. If you need more inspiration, check us out on Pinterest, Facebook, and Instagram. And if you know of a luxury home that we should visit, tweet us at Open House TV. That's all for now. We'll be back next week. Thanks for watching.